Hi everyone, Lisa here. So I thought while I am waiting to move to my simple rural life, I would show you some of the things that I've learned in the last 4 to 6 months, I suppose. And I like the empowering feeling of being able to make things for myself that I know are going to work, but are a more healthy solution for myself and for the people who are in my life. So today I'm going to share with you the all-purpose cleaner that I make. I use it in the kitchen to wipe down benches. I use it to wipe down everything in the bathroom. I really like this one because it's really simple to make, and it lasts quite well. And everything that you need for this you can buy it at the supermarket. Everything you see here you can buy at the supermarket or places like Kmart and the chemist. And I'll go through what I've got here. So the first thing we've got is borax. Now, if you're watching from the UK, you know you can't buy borax, but in those countries you can buy what's known as borax substitute. So by all means, use your borax substitute. Here in Australia, you can buy your borax, you buy it at the supermarket, usually in the laundry aisle. That's where you'll usually find it. But if you can't find it, ask someone at the supermarket and they'll be able to direct you to that. The next thing you'll need is bicarb soda, which of course you'll find in your baking aisle. Fantastic stuff. Bicarb soda is an amazing ingredient in a lot of the products that I make here at home, my cleaning products. The next thing you'll need is Castile Soap. You'll find this at the chemist. This isn't cheap. I think a little bottle like this, it costs nearly $15. I will say you don't need to use a lot of it. However, if you're like me, and I've pulled this little bottle out because this is what you'll find at the chemist, and there are a couple of different scented ones. I like to use to create my own scents and aromas with my essential oils. So I tend to buy just the pure, natural, unscented Castile Soap. Once you get to a point like me where you're using this regularly for, making a lot of different products, you can actually buy large containers of it online. It actually works out a little bit cheaper, but it's fantastic. It's pure, it's natural, it's vegan. So if you are vegan or you don't use animal products, this is great. And mums will know this one because we all have used the Castile Soap on our little bubs. The next thing you'll need is also available at the supermarket is glycerin. Now, glycerin is something I remember my mum having in the medicine cabinet, my grandmother. All these things are things that my grandmother used and had. And thankfully, you can still buy them today so that you can do all this yourself. Glycerin is used in a lot of the products that I make, cleaning products and so on. But again, you don't need a lot of it. In this recipe, we only use a quarter teaspoon. So it lasts a long time. It's not expensive. It's only a couple of dollars. None of these, apart from the Castile Soap, are expensive. They're all quite cheap and easily available. I wouldn't be buying them if they weren't. The last thing you'll need are essential oils. And before you say, oh my gosh, I can't afford that, there are varying qualities of essential oils that you can purchase. Yes, there are expensive essential oils and they're obviously very high quality. And I have a couple of those. I've sort of saved up so that I do have a couple of really good high quality essential oils for my medicine cabinet, like lavender oil, eucalyptus oil, tea tree oil, and so on. There are also, for my cleaning products, very cheap essential oils. Kmart, people, Kmart, $3 each. And they have in their home wares sort of section where they have all their aromatherapy line, such as diffusers and oil burners and so on. You'll find a whole row of these little essential oils for $3 each. And it's fantastic to use in something like cleaning products. And there's a wide range. I'm slowly building my range of essential oils for cleaning up. Every time I go into the supermarket or the shopping centre, I pop into Kmart and pick up some more. So yeah, hop into Kmart and you'll find these. They're fantastic and perfect for this use. You'll also need 500 mils of water, about 18 ounces, fluid ounces. By the look at 18 fluid ounces for those of you watching from the US. You'll also need a spray bottle. Now, you can buy spray bottles specifically for purpose, or just wait until you run out of the spray bottle of cleaner that you're using now and use that. So with bottles, they say that amber glass is the best to use with your essential oils, because essential oils will eventually degrade plastic, especially if it's one of those soft supermarket type spray bottles. And amber, of course, the amber glass also protects the essential oils from degrading in the bottle. For me personally, I would find a 500 ml glass spray bottle full of fluid a bit heavy for me. My other issue with glass is having that glass in the bathroom. And I don't have a cabinet under my sink in the bathroom. This is a 70s unit. It's never been renovated, so it's just a little sink. I don't even have a bench top in there. So this basically sits on the floor, sort of between the bath and the toilet, basically, where it's a bit out of the way. But I would never put glass on the floor or anywhere where it wasn't going to be safe. So I use plastic. Maybe, hopefully, once I move to my perfect little cottage in the country, it'll have a vanity where I can perhaps store away bottles. In the meantime, I use plastic and I just keep it somewhere where it's dark. Anyway, let's get making this. It's fantastic. Now this doesn't have anything in it that will hurt your stone bench tops. So if you have granite or quartz or marble bench tops in your kitchen or your bathroom, this is perfectly safe to use on it. There are some ingredients in some cleaners that I make that I wouldn't use on stone bench tops, because things like you've got to be careful with a little bit with vinegar on bench tops, because it will corrode. It won't burn a hole in your bench top, but you certainly will, over time, you would notice a certain level of damage being done to your bench. This doesn't have that product in it. So let's get started. Okay, so we have 500 mils of cooled boiled water. Tip, boil your jug at night before you go to bed, a nice full jug of water. And then when you wake up in the morning, before you put it on to make your cup of tea, pour out your 500 mils and put it to the side so that you can make your cleaning product. Okay, so the first thing you'll need to do is take a teaspoon of the borax. Another tip, when you buy these, find yourself a good sealable glass jar and pour a good amount into it and keep it separate, because these lids are so hard to take off, especially if you've got kind of wrists that aren't as strong as they used to be, like me. These lids are a pain in the butt, to be honest. So you do need to be very careful with borax, but I would suggest that you pour it into a glass jar, keep it sealed and label it to use it, because if you have to open this, once a week, it'll drive you nuts. Okay, so we've got 1 teaspoon of borax, and we've got 1 teaspoon of the bicarb soda. Probably should have done the bicarb first. 1 teaspoon. Then what you need to do is stir that until it is completely dissolved. It might take a few minutes, so I might just pop back in a moment. It usually takes a couple of minutes, but it's very important that this is completely dissolved. This is because if it's not dissolved, the little granules of the 2 powders can clog up your spray bottle. So it's very important to be patient and just stir this for a few minutes until there is absolutely no particles left, until it's completely clear. Or, well, it won't be clear, but it'll be, you can tell when you're stirring if there are bits in the bottom still. Okay, it just about does that. All right, the next step is 2 teaspoons of the Castile Soap. And then we need a 1/4 teaspoon of the glycerin. I will put this recipe in the show notes, in the description of the video for you, so that you can copy that down and make this at home yourself. And I'll also list all the ingredients and where you're likely to find them. The glycerin. Okay, so that's our basic cleaner. However, we put essential oils in there, partly because essential oils can be antimicrobial, antibacterial, and of course for a lovely scent through the house as we're cleaning. I'm using tea tree oil and peppermint oil, and I will tell you, I actually found this recipe in a fantastic book that I bought called Fresh Clean Home, and I will put a link to that where I found it on. I think I got it on Booktopia, but I'm sure you'll be able to get it on Amazon as well. So this recipe is from that book, and I'm basically following that recipe to a T. And so in this recipe, we use tea tree oil and peppermint oil. And I really love this. Now, of course, if you don't like the smell of peppermint, you can use other essential oils together. I imagine that tea tree and lemon would be quite nice. Rosemary and lemon would also be lovely. Of course, tea tree and rosemary are both antibacterial, antimicrobial. You could use eucalyptus oil, but that's probably going to be too strong in the kitchen. So basically, if you're going to be using this in all over the house to wipe down bench tops and the dining table and in the bathroom and in the kitchen, you really do want a scent that is going to complement all of those areas. So keep that in mind. But you can experiment, of course, with the different essential oils that you use. All right, so tea tree and peppermint oil. So tea tree, it says on the recipe to use 15 drops. Now, these don't come with droppers. That is one thing. The little Kmart $3 essential oils don't come with droppers. However, they do have a sort of a dropper in the top, but you can't really control it as you would if you were using a squeeze dropper. So you just kind of have to wing it a little bit with this. So it says 15 drops of the tea tree and 30 drops of the peppermint. So basically twice the amount of peppermint as tea tree. And that's basically because the peppermint is a little bit more, I think, a little bit more pleasant through the house than if it's a little bit more, if there's a little bit more peppermint. So just kind of gauge it as best you can. 12, 13, 14, 15. Okay, there's probably an extra one there, but that's okay. We don't mind. So that's the tea tree. And then double that, so 30 drops of the peppermint. And this peppermint is really lovely. It's such a lovely, pleasant smell. Okay, so let's see how we go. Okay, 29. Okay, I think that's about it. That'll be fine. As I say, we do wing that a little bit. You can, with the essential oil, you can wing it a little bit. I wouldn't wing it with these ingredients, particularly the borax and the glycerin. But definitely, you know, you can gauge it. So maybe if you're not sure of how strong the scent is going to be, use a little less to start with, and you can always add more. All right, so we'll give that a little bit of a stir. And then, of course, we pop it into the bottle. Let's see if I can do this without spilling it everywhere across the table. As you can see, I'm doing this at the dining room table using my laptop. So I apologise for the bad lighting and possibly the bad sound. But for the moment, this will do. This will do. It's what we have, and we're grateful to have it. All right, there we go. And I managed to get that done without spilling any. All right. So easy to use now, obviously. I give it a little shake first before I use it, just to make sure those essential oils are through there properly. So simple. And just with a clean cloth, obviously. As I said, I have one in the bathroom and one in the kitchen, and I use it a lot. And I absolutely love it, and I hope you will too. I'll leave the details in the show notes for you, as I said. Okay, that's it. Thank you for joining me on my journey today. I appreciate you. See you soon.